Good evening, CMST 320. My name is Brendon Favre, and this is my final presentation for this course. Tonight, we will discuss what it was like finding participants for the interviews, what I personally learned from the interviews, and how the course prepared me for the interviews. Have you ever wondered what executive recruiters really look for in potential employees? My experience finding participants for this assignment was somewhat difficult. I private messaged more than 20 professionals in my field that are connections on my LinkedIn profile. Of those 20, 0 replied before the due date, and 3 sent messages about 4 weeks after my initial contact. All the messages were received and viewed, just not replied to. LinkedIn messages notify you when the person has viewed your message. I found that this went against what the book said in Chapter 8, that it is easy to schedule an information gathering interview because people jump at the chance to talk about themselves and their job. This may have been the case 10 or 15 years ago, but today, it has been my experience that people are a lot less likely to go out of their way to help someone if it doesn't benefit them. I was getting frustrated with this process, but after some reflection, I came to the conclusion, why would they? They don't know me personally. They don't owe me anything. I've taken several classes here at SFCC where the instructors won't respond to emails, and I am in the course they are teaching. So why would I expect something different from someone I've never met before? I decided to rethink my game plan and ask myself, how can I get the most benefit from this assignment? I decided to message a few recruiters that were connections on my LinkedIn. They weren't technically in my desired field, but felt they would have the most insight into what employers are looking for. The information they provided about interviewing and what recruiters are looking for in potential employees was invaluable. So what did I learn from this experience? I learned a great deal about what recruiters are looking for, and they even discredited a few myths that I constantly hear swirling around. Having too long of a resume isn't a bad thing if it's done right. Your resume needs to be visually appealing and well organized. It needs to grab their attention and make them want to keep reading. Both recruiters I spoke with said they prefer a bullet point style resume. Also, potential employers want to know what you did on the job, not just a generic job description. What did you accomplish? What were your successes, and what were your failures? They want to hear specific examples. They also said their main concerns are why you left your last position. Was it on good terms? Also, if you have any gaps in your employment history. My second interview with Miss Witcher, an executive recruiter with Pitney Bowes, became an amazing networking opportunity. She invited me to several hiring events where she personally introduced me to several professionals in my desired field, and it even resulted in 2 job interviews. Both individuals I interviewed said they weren't really sure what to expect from this process, but they were impressed by my resume, my professionalism, and my organization. This goes to show you the importance of being professional at all times. You never know when an opportunity will arise. Did the course material prepare me for my interview? The answer to this is both yes and no. I have a great deal of experience from the military, being the interviewee at promotion boards and being the interviewer, sitting on the boards and giving various classes throughout my career. This course and the material in it are a good starting point for people who have little or no experience giving presentations in front of a crowd or researching and preparing a report. So with that said, I must be the master of presentations, right? No. Things in the civilian world work a lot differently than they do in the military. This course has helped me identify issues with my leadership style. I need to be less of a dictator and more empathetic with my team members. It has also helped reinforce that even though I have strong leadership attributes, there are different ways to approach an issue or a project, and that my way of doing things is not the only way. So to recap what we discussed, it was challenging getting someone in my field to participate in this project. The ones who did respond offered to help, but only if I couldn't find anybody else and to use them as a last resort. Time is money, and if they don't benefit from the process, it's a waste of their time. I can understand this because prior to this assignment, if I was in their position, I would have done the same thing. You can always learn something. Even though these recruiters weren't in my desired field, I was determined to gain some benefit from this experience. I asked myself, who better to critique my resume than a person who reviews resumes and conducts interviews for a profession? You can always try a new approach. I am a fan of if it's not broke, don't fix it. But sometimes stepping out of our comfort zone and trying something different can be beneficial. We should always be looking for ways to improve ourselves and the way we interact with people. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you take anything away from this, remember where you came from. And as you advance through your career, never forget that you were once at the bottom yourself. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, and have a great night. Thank you very much.